Welcome, Japanese woodblock print collectors and enthusiasts. It's time for another unboxing of prints I've won at auction. This larger than usual box arrived, and I'm going to open it up for the first time and we'll see what's inside. Okay, let's open this up and see what we have. It's actually pretty light despite how big it is. All these separate packages. It feels like Christmas. My favorite holiday, by the way. Lots of options here. Let's start with this one and save the scroll till last. Oh yes, this is one I was very excited about getting. It's a well-known Kunisada print and it looks to be in very good condition. These are actors playing the roles of the evil magician Niki Danjo on the left and the warrior Arajishi on the right side. This scene is from a famous kabuki drama. In the play, Niki Danjo turns himself into a rat to steal a valuable scroll. And then a warrior named Arajishi sees this and beats the rat with his heavy iron fan. Niki Danjo is one of the easiest to recognize characters in Japanese prints, since he's almost always dressed in a gray kimono with the pointy shoulders. He's often got a scroll in his mouth and a spot of blood on his forehead where he was hit by the iron fan. Oh, and the giant rat is a little hard to miss as well. Fun fact, in the kabuki play, the rat is always played by an actor. Here's a picture of a stage performance from 1920. It really must be something to see in person. Okay, next let's open up this smaller package. These are book pages by two different artists. There are 3 prints here by Yoshitoshi and 1 by Kosai. The color looks great on all these prints. As I said, they used to be book pages and they were cut out and removed to be sold separately. I have a prolific Yoshitoshi collector in Philadelphia that has already requested the Yoshitoshi prints, so that's where they're going to go. But let's have a look at them first. These are all from a yokai book. Yokai means ghosts, monsters, or supernatural beings. The first one here is Kikuo, or the Chrysanthemum Boy. According to legend, he was a highly favored attendant of the Chinese Emperor Mu, who was banished from the court due to the jealousy of other members. The emperor gave him a collection of Buddhist texts and taught him sacred words that he'd learned from the Buddha himself. Kikuo became an immortal and spent his days in a beautiful valley surrounded by chrysanthemums and writing words of peace on the flower's petals. The next one is Tatsuro Yoshimitsu, and he was considered to be one of the best swordsmiths back in the 1200s. There are many stories and legends about the swords he made. And here he is fighting off a demon. And in the final print, this is my favorite of the 3, we see Kintaro, a hero from Japanese folklore. He was a child with superhuman strength, raised by a mountain witch on Mount Ashigara. Here are some more prints of Kintaro, one with the mountain witch. you can usually recognize him because he's always this reddish, chubby child. And finally, we have a print by Kanae Kosai from his fantastic series of 100 pictures, or Kosai Hyakuzu. This is titled Determination Can Move Mountains. The top part of the print is a frantic scene from the Revenge of the Soga Brothers story that I recently did a video on. And the bottom part shows a Chinese general Li Guang shooting a tiger-shaped rock with his bow and arrow. These are fun and affordable prints to collect, and I have several of them on the website. It looks like we have several different size prints in here. Let's open this one up. This is an interesting and fun design by Shai Ee. Ike was a student of Hiroshige III. This is Shibauchi Bashi. It's a bridge from his most popular series, 48 Famous Views of Tokyo. And I've always liked this jaunty foreigner strolling across the bridge, looking at the scenery. And here are some more examples from this series. Ike was known for his comical prints and his prints of the Western influence on Japanese culture. Oh, very nice. The color looks great, but there's a slight fold line across the middle. This is a gruesome scene by Yoshitoshi. It's from his newspaper supplement series, Personalities of Recent Times. And these color sheets reported sensational news stories and were inserted in issues of the Yamato newspaper. This is a true crime story. A woman named Kanae Om was a former geisha who owned the Suigetsu restaurant in Tokyo. On the night of June 9th, 1887, she's killed a man who had been trying to come on to her. In court, she pled that she had been refusing his advances for some time and that he had attacked her in the dark with a knife, and she grabbed the knife from him and killed him in self-defense. The prosecution said that the couple had been violent lovers and that she had premeditated the murder. She was sentenced to life imprisonment, but got released in 1903. Yoshitoshi's print was published about 2 months after the murder. It's thought that Yoshitoshi believed that she killed him in self-defense, even though he drew her looking like she's kind of into the stabbing part. Okay, I think many of us can recognize this print from the back. It's from one of my favorite Hiroshige series, Sea Bream and Sancho Pepper, from the Grand Series of Fishes, originally printed in 1833. This is from a later printing, probably from the 1840s. And these fish prints were so well done and so popular, they have been reprinted many times. Just look at the precise detail in the fish scales and the beautiful shading. Here's another version of this print from an earlier printing, so you can see the differences in the coloring. I just saw a book of 20 prints from this series sell in an online auction for $17,000. Here's an example of the wrapping I have to deal with. It's plastic wrap, taped up, and it's a pain to open. This is a Hiroshige 2 print. It's Waves at Yui from the Tokaido series. It's the smaller size, what they call the Chu Ban. And here we can compare it to his master, Ando Hiroshige, the Hiroshige I's print of the Great Wave at Sata Beach from the series The 36 Views of Fuji. You can also see the difference in size between the O-ban and Chuban size prints. Basically, Chuban is half the size of the standard O-ban print. Let's open this one next. This is another newspaper supplement print, this time by Yoshiiku from the Tokyo Mainichi Shimbun. The title of this story is Woman Rebukes Geisha. The story reads something like this. There is an old lady who lives around Takakura on Shijo in Kyoto. She wraps her body in rags. Her dirty face looks like the charcoal she peddles, and people call her the charcoal hag. A young geisha laughs at her. She grabs the lapel of the geisha. "What are you laughing at? I have become very black like this, and I call and I walk selling charcoal. You are painted very white, sing and dance, but together all are the same in this world. And though you laugh at me, I do not laugh at the vulgar occupations of your kind. I have 2 daughters, and their features don't look like mine. In time they will look like you." She lifted her bucket and went toward Sanjo, calling, "Charcoal, charcoal." Next, this is one from my favorite Kunichika series, 36 Good and Evil Beauties. And look on the back here, it's actually glued to the inside of a book or album cover that says 36 Good and Evil Beauties. This book must have contained most, if not all, of the prints from this series. I knew it wasn't in great condition when I bid on it, but these prints don't come up for sale often, and I don't have this in my collection yet. The woman here is Kenre Mon, the daughter of Taira no Kiyomori. She was the mother of the child emperor, and during the battle of Dan no Ura in the year 1185, her army lost, and she threw herself into the waves while holding the young emperor. It's hard to see here, but the child is wearing the blue kimono, and she was pulled out by her long hair. I don't know if the boy died or not. She ended up becoming a nun and died in the year 1192. I'll go on the record here and say I will produce a video deep dive into this specific series in the next few months. I have 34 of the 36 prints in this series in my collection. And these are the missing 2 prints I'm looking for. Let me know if you come across either of them. Now let's move on to the final item, this scroll box. Let's open this up. It's really long. It was listed as people of Ibaraki. Ibaraki is a city in Osaka and part of Kyoto. It looks like a group of musicians with a drum and a banner. And the people are done in Kosai's loose caricature style. On the box, it says by Kawanabe Kosai, but of course this is a modern sticker. And on the painting, it has his signature, but I haven't seen this red seal before, so I'll have to research this some more to see if I can confirm that he is actually the artist. And that brings us to the end of this unboxing. I hope you've seen some interesting prints that you haven't seen before, and you'll be able to find some of these prints on miagallery.com. As always, please like and subscribe, and happy collecting.